Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. It's the way that we rock when we doing our thing. Ooh la la la. It's the... Hey everyone, happy Saturday and welcome back to What's Happening. So on tonight's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, it looks like we're going to see a scene where Melody is at Chris Fletcher and Nell's house and they're talking about the house that Martell is in. I know many of us have already heard that the house that he's in is owned by Chris Fletcher and that Chris is putting that house up for sale. I don't know if the house has sold yet, but they're talking about it in this scene. So let's take a listen to what they said.
My attorney started asking about the house that he's currently in because Chris has it listed for sale. Can you imagine the stress?
Oh,
Child, that's why he probably asked me to pay for his attorney fees. He need that money. He gotta find a new place
Did he
to
ask
live.
you that for real?
He asked me that for real.
Is he broke?
I don't know, because I don't keep up with his finances.
You know, this is part of some of the things that, we've talked about and some of the things you would have to face. You get that divorce and go to court and try to tell him.
Well, Chris Fletcher said that he tried to tell him, and unfortunately, Martell didn't listen, and these are the consequences of when you don't listen. And he probably wanted her to pay those attorney fees back to him because he knows he has to find another place to live. So Melody had posted this particular clip that we just listened to. And of course, a lot of people did chime in. Someone commented and said, "Oh, this man's karma is long-winded. Looks like Inez wine ain't giving what it's supposed to give. Brokest wine coming this fall." Now, someone else commented, Karma said, "Come, sir, have a seat at my table. Don't worry, you ain't getting nothing to eat, so don't come hungry." I tell you, some of these comments will keep you laughing, but someone else said Mel is sitting in her mansion while Broketail is trying to get child support from her. He doesn't want those children full time. He wants Mel's money, and Marlene has told him that she's not babysitting. Now, also, many people were kind of upset and people were frustrated that they didn't get to see Melody on last week's episode. A lot of people watch the show just for Melody, and they said they just don't have a whole lot of interest in the other cast members. So someone commented and tagged Melody and said, "You could have warned us last Saturday that you wasn't on that episode, and a lot of us wouldn't have even watched it. It was so boring." Someone else commented and said, "Mel, we only watch this show because of you. That is when we watch. Own could tell us the times of the scenes that you're in, and then we could go on about our business." Well, a lot of people have also questioned, where has Melody's mom been also? We haven't seen Miss Vanessa Rogers Tracy pretty much at all, except when Martell was screaming in her face at the kid's birthday party. Now, she recently did an interview and was asked if she had been fired. So take a listen to what she had to say in regards to that question and why she chooses to film only with certain individuals.
Right. Have you been fired? Have you been fired? I mean, do you still do? Are you on the show? I mean, I know it's kind of funny, but if we 8 episodes in, and I think I may have seen a glance of you once at the skating party, maybe. So are you on the show?
I am not fired.
Okay.
So I got a contract renewal, and I actually got a raise, and I filmed. But unfortunately, I don't get to decide what is shown and what is left on the cutting floor. Mm-hmm. Whenever I film, I'm usually filming with Melody or my grandbaby because I'm not going to be present in any situations where I feel like someone's going to try to take me out of character.
Okay.
Because that's not what I want to represent on this show. And so I've been invited to film at some events that I declined
Okay.
because I didn't want my brand to be associated with the people who were hosting the event, or because I knew because of who was going to be there, it was going to be an opportunity for them to sort of put me in a situation where I was going to be challenged to come out of character. So, like I said, I filmed several things with Melody, and the reason we were sort of so upset about the way Melody and Milani and Mariah and Malia's birthday party went is because there was it was so much positive stuff that was filmed that day that could have been shown, and they chose to only show the drama and the negative stuff.
Right.
Because I actually filmed two scenes that day with people inside. I did a scene with Melody where she and I were sitting down talking about things and catching up with what she had going on and all of the opportunities, the doors that were being opened for her. And then I also filmed a scene with the Fletchers, Mr. Fletcher and his wife, where we were talking about the 47 acres that started this whole show. And they chose not to show any of that. But they did show my ex-son-in-law in my face yelling at me. And that was the only thing I filmed that day that they chose to show. And because I knew that, Melody had made it very clear to production who was invited and who wasn't. It was a private event. She had rented that venue out for the day. A lot of my family down here from where I'm at, we had all went up for that weekend to celebrate the girl's birthday. And to put her ex-husband into the mix with her family, that alone would have been an issue. And she didn't want any of our family members to feel uncomfortable because his presence was there.
Right.
So she had made it very clear to production that, he was not invited. And when we pull up, we're getting mic'd up and everything, and we see him pulling up, and not only do we see him pulling up, but we see production giving him a parking space. And of course, Melody, she voiced her opinion again. He is not welcome here. I made it very clear. This is my kid's birthday party. We're going to have a good time. And then it escalated, her conversation that she had with the producer. And at one point she told him, get the cameras and leave. This is not going to be filmed. We're going to go inside. We're going to enjoy my kids. You all can take your cameras and leave. And then, somehow I think they convinced her, okay, we'll handle it. And, Lord and behold, they didn't handle it. And they chose to only show all of that drama that took place instead of focusing on how great of a time we all had inside with the kids and stuff. And I think that was very disappointing to her because she is trying to stay in a positive space. And to know that at that moment they didn't protect her with the decision that she had made, I'm sure that was very difficult for her too, because it was hard for me. It was hard for me.
Wow, so it sounds like production is trying to make the show messy by keeping a lot of drama and negativity flowing on our screens. And sadly, you can hear in Miss Vanessa's voice that she's very disappointed. And if you want to hear her full interview, head over to forestofrainproductions.net. Also, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about Martell having to move because Chris Fletcher is selling his home. I thank you all for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Please give this one a thumbs up and be sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from What's Happening.